Tia, we are going into what we now know is the final season of Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, indeed.
When you found out the news, what did you think? What was your reaction?
Well, we've known for like a little while, and Dave told us all together before a recording session, so, you know, not great timing. I was like, but I truly, I mean, I had no idea. I keep saying the word shell-shocked because I really was. Because, of course, I love this job. I love this character. I love these people. Like, I don't want this. I would do this, like, forever. I would happily do it indefinitely. So, of course, I'm sad. And I was just so taken aback. But he sort of talked us off the ledge. After the initial shock of him telling us, he sort of talked us through it like he did today at the panel. And it put it into perspective, and I thought, you know what, that's kind of amazing that, you know, not every show, as we know, as Star Wars fans know, not every show gets to end on their own terms. And so that's kind of a luxury that we have and that we are going to take full advantage of, that we get to tell the story the way we want to tell it, we get to end the story the way we want to end it. And I think it's nice that the fans will know that this is the final season. And I feel like we're kind of upping the ante and like kind of taking everything up a notch, as I feel like we have every season. I feel like season 3 was even better than season 2, which was even better than season 1. But I think season 4 is going to be, even just knowing that it's the final season, aside from that, I think it's just going to be another level.
I am very curious about where this is going. You know, Sabine, it's really interesting because even that trailer I felt reflected like the fact, because they showed Ezra and Sabine at the beginning and it really kind of focused on their story, and it seemed like, especially in season 3, we got really a lot more about Sabine, learning about her, and she became more central to the storylines. Has that been exciting for you to just see, you know, how much more they're giving you, how much more you're learning about the character?
Absolutely. I mean, seasons 1 and 2, all I wanted to do was like know more about Sabine's backstory and where she came from. And I think I've said that, like, David given me I knew about the weapon. That was kind of a big thing to know. But I didn't know when or if or when we were ever going to sort of flesh out that story. And so then when I knew that she has a family somewhere, but I didn't know where they were, and I didn't know who they were, and I didn't really know how things ended. I mean, I knew why, but I didn't know how. And so to finally get to actually like explore that and meet these people and have Sabine suddenly struggle with like responsibility to two families, biological and, you know, the Ghost Crew, it was so thrilling, and also obviously a challenge as well. Like, getting to record the Trials of the Darksaber episode was not an easy task. I mean, it was a challenge emotionally and also sort of like technically, because I'm more accustomed to doing on-camera acting, and so to be emotional and vulnerable as in that capacity as a voice actor, but also having this like physicality of like sword play was just like multiple. It was a very complex experience, you know, of having to worry about all kinds of like different parts of the process. But I mean, it's been such a gift. I think of that episode in particular as such a gift that Dave and company gave me and Freddie, because, you know, you don't expect, not, you know, in a voiceover capacity to get to be so emotional and vulnerable and emotive in that way. So that was really exciting. So I mean, I think season 3 is super awesome in so many ways, but especially for my character to get to explore what she's gotten to explore and go to places that I had never expected to take her was really exciting. And I think season 4 is just going to sort of keep going in that direction.
Well, you know, they showed the premiere at Celebration of season 4, and it's a big episode for Sabine. It's a heavy episode for Sabine.
Yes, indeed.
You know, we know Bo-Katan's coming back. I won't get specific about the things that happen beyond that in the premiere.
Don't.
But what can you say about this journey for her this season, as she is, you know, immersed in her people more than ever, and yet there's a lot other things going on?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, look, we know she has the dark side. Well, I don't know what hold on, let me think about what I can say. I think first of all, we're going to see more Mando stuff, which is very exciting. We will see some Mandos that you know. We'll see some Mandos that you don't know and you'll meet, which is exciting. But I think we'll see Sabine sort of grow and mature even more than we did in season 3, because she's faced with like sort of decisions that she's never been faced with before. And I think she's like, you know, in seasons 1 and 2, she had these trust issues. She had these, and I think those were just immaturities, because like, you know, I forget how young she was when we started this show, because she acts so awesome and
Right.
kick butt and capable, and then you're like, oh, but she was 16. You know, she did have these immaturities and thinking she knows it all. You know, I can relate to that as a 16-year-old.
Right.
You know, I'm sure my mom would be like, yep, but yeah, so she's making more adult decisions in season 4, and the decisions she's having to make will have far greater sort of impact than her, you know, in season 1 and 2, sort of being a part of this smaller rebel crew and having as much impact as they could at that time on the Empire, and you know, sort of like taking small chunks out, but now they have like it's such a bigger scale, and so she's assuming more and more responsibility, and her decisions are going to have a greater impact on more people in a bigger way.
Do you know how the show ends yet, and do you know what the fate has in store for Sabine?
I don't know that anyone other than Dave Filoni knows actually how everything ends. I truly mean that. I was saying something earlier to, like, you know how Dr. Pepper has like 19 or like 29 secret ingredients,
Okay.
and like one person knows one ingredient and another person knows another ingredient, and neither of them know what the other ingredient is, and that's how they keep a secret.
Right.
If that's true or not, I think it's like that. I honestly don't think that anyone else knows like the full picture. I think I have little tidbits. I think someone else has a little tidbit,
right.
but I don't know what that tidbit is, and they don't know what my tidbit is. And I think he's going to keep it that way until we all actually watch the finale. I think that's how it's going to go down. So I think I'm going to be just as shocked by what we see as someone watching the show.